Join us to hear innovative and creative stories from around the world. Rosalind Kahn will share her amazing journey of life, leadership, and leading your best life. Please welcome Rosalind Kahn.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Rosalind. I'm so excited to be here today. We have some phenomenal guests with us. We have John David Snyder and Niki Shadrow Snyder, who are here with us today. Say hello to our guest here for us, please.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having us, Rosalind.
Thank you.
Oh, it's truly an honor to be with us here today. This couple is absolutely incredible. You will not believe all the amazing things that they've done in our community, how the two of them got together. But I've got a few short questions I want to go ahead and ask you guys. So tell us, how did you begin on this project Pop Drop? How did that come to be?
Well, on our first date, I am in the office supply business, and I was telling my wife, and in the very first date, I said, I'm in this business, and for some reason, like the big box retailers and, like the Staples and the Office Depots, whenever they send an order of ink and toner to the customers, they would put a big 3-pound bag of chocolates in the toner orders and ship it off to the customer. And it was like, it's a business model in our industry. And I was telling her, I said, we don't want to do that. We want to take that money and we want to save it. And instead of buying chocolates for every customer that buys toner and ink from us to be like everyone else, why don't we take that money and we'll just buy for food for homeless people? And we just threw it out there. And we started talking. She's like, well, what's the name of it? I'm like, well, we did it one time. We went to the shelter already. She says, what's the name? I said, there's no name. We just want to give back. We don't want to be like those people that say, oh, look at me, I'm giving back. And she's like, well, if you want to enhance the program and get more donors and get more people to come on board, you have to name it. You have to make it real. You have to promote it. You have to, so I listened to my wife, and found out that she was absolutely right. So it was born on our first date, and our first mission was to the Union Rescue Mission in downtown Los Angeles. And we went there, we brought some stuff for the homeless people, and not much. We brought some potatoes, we brought a toner cartridge to donate for their printer, of course, some water, mac and cheese, and we just went and we did it, and other businesses went with us. And so we get back, and I was in between Florida, actually, where our friend I was just talking to earlier is, kind of about an hour from there. And I was back and forth between California and Florida. And I told my mom this same story that I just told you. Hey, we started this cool thing.
Right.
We're not like everyone else. And she started crying. And I go, well, why are you crying, Mom? And I said, we're doing something good. And she says to me, and we've come to peace since, she says, don't say anything. But in the 1950s, my father was homeless, and he was staying at the Union Rescue Mission, and he was, he had a drinking problem, and he ended up leaving her at 12 and stuff like that. I never met him. And she goes, my dad was homeless at the Union Rescue Mission where you started your program. I go, what? And I was just blown away. And ever since then, here we are 10 years later, and
wow,
we're on a mission.
That is such a beautiful, heartwarming story. Sometimes we never know how life goes ahead and repeats itself for us, that you would have picked this unknowingly, and then it just really brings that circle together. That is so amazing. That is so amazing. So tell me, what are some of the challenges you have? Because I know oftentimes, I was part of a nonprofit group, and there's lots to do out there. But what are some of the challenges that the two of you have faced in making this into a reality? Niki, could you share some of those with us?
Sure. So I think whenever you start a nonprofit organization, I think it goes with the territory that it's going to be a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody is jumping up and down to change the world or to even change their priorities every day of taking some time away from your for-profit company to do the work that so desperately needs to be done in the world. And the thing is about it is you have to go into it with almost like an Olympian mentality. Like, how do the people in the Olympics do it? Like, how do they push past what your mind and body is telling you can and cannot do? So I think that's how any people that are founders or leaders or business leaders or of any organization go into something knowing that they have a challenge that they're taking on. For us, I've kind of taken like a little bit of my background working in fashion and Hollywood and entertainment, kind of used those databases and those skills that I gained working in that industry for a long time to kind of take on those challenges. For instance, I knew I had to make us a little bit more relevant, because the topic that we're talking about with our nonprofit is not glamorous, it's not sexy, and it's not cool to talk about homelessness and people and families experiencing homelessness and food insecurity. But I just figured that if we get some names involved to get people behind it and to just educate them on how horrible this is, especially where we live in Greater Los Angeles. It's a complete epidemic here and a pandemic at the same time, which is really not a good combo. And I think just getting people on board that are business leaders like Dean Graziosi and Tony Robbins, who support us and what we do, that was a huge step for our challenge of taking us from, obscurity to like putting us on like a spotlight to like do-gooders and people that really want to move the needle in the world. And that was a really good thing. And then we got a Presidential Volunteer Service Award recently. So that was a really cool thing for us because that gave us like a whole other platform and a whole other audience to kind of see what we were doing. So I think the key is to making strategic partnerships with people to help you move the needle of whatever your challenge is of putting that cause out there, because the more eyeballs, the more impact. So we really try to do as many events, say yes to as many opportunities that we can, because you never know where it's going to lead you.
No, that is so exactly true. You're not going to believe this, but you're talking to a lady on the other side who also received one of those Presidential Distinguished Honors Award. Can you imagine that? On the same set, two people? Oh my gosh.
Wow. Congratulations. That's amazing. I didn't know that about you, Rosalind.
Well, there's all sorts of stuff I try to tell you guys, but it's so busy. I had done before this year happened, I did almost 200 interviews that was talking about how to reduce stress and anxiety in today's troubled times. And I would get up and do Facebook Lives of just telling people, things that they could do. And that was so impactful that, 200 Facebook Lives is quite a lot of talking there. And so I'd gotten one of those awards and things like that. Well, I have one more question before we take a break here, but I was wondering if there was one thing that surprised you, that kind of shocked you and amazed you on this path of getting you here to where you are today. What would you say that would be?
I could answer because of the business that we're in, selling the toner and ink with Platinum International Products and Services. We talk to people all over the country, and the most amazing thing that I have found, it's kind of like we've had a survey for over 10 years to see how people are going to react to what we're doing. And I'm telling you right now, like, the news says that we don't get along and there's all this discord between humans and we're not united. But I beg to differ, because we have for 10 years talked to people all over the country, and every time you tell them about Project Pop Drop, you're oh yeah, we're not just feeding these printer machines with these toner cartridges, we're actually feeding homeless human beings. For the last 10 years we do something called Project Pop Drop Foundation. And then you start telling them, what you're doing, some of the things we just talked about. The reactions you get are, God bless you, oh that's amazing, oh what a blessing, everything. And like the excitement and the way that everyone sounds from all these different states, it tells me that people really do like to help and give back and see good things happen. And we are all more united together than what we're led to believe sometimes. So that to me has been the most amazing thing, just to see how I've never seen something in my life like spread like a word of mouth, like giving back. It's just people really want to help, they really do.
No, that's what's amazing in our world today. When we go ahead and we look at the homeless problem, what's out there. I work with a company too that every time a person uses one of my services, we feed the homeless. So together, you and I are making great strides around this world, which is absolutely magnificent. But we're going to go ahead and take a quick break right now, and we'll be right back because I got some more exciting questions to ask you.
All right.
Right.
There we go.
Thank you for your interest in In-Flight USA and our newest publication, BizAvJets USA. We serve general and business aviation throughout the U.S. For more information on submitting articles or advertising in our publications, visit inflightUSA.com. Thank you.
Did you know the number one way to earn money is speaking? Everyone thinks public speaking is the worst. Some people are so scared they never even get started. Your story deserves to be shared. You can learn from top speakers. You need to join Standout Stars for their free Week of Kindness and Gratitude Summit. Learn how to get out of your comfort zone and grow to the next level. Develop new skills in business. Find out how experts get motivated to increase their workflow. Develop your writing skills. Find your passion and learn to share it with the world. Unlock secrets to improving the production of your podcast and increase lead generation. Learn how to improve your own personal health and wellness. This is a virtual event which runs January 16th through 21st. Sign up on our website at weekofkindness.com free. Be sure to visit weekofkindness.com. Sign up right now.
Senior Care Authority is a one-stop solution for helping you locate senior living options.
We understand the care, the costs, and the safety records of hundreds of communities, from assisted living and memory care to independent living and even skilled nursing. We help families cut through the complexity to make courageous, informed decisions under difficult circumstances.
Hey, are you looking to get blinged out? Well, look no further. Boss Lady Bling Blingy have all the bling you need. You can find us online at Lady Blingy 4 on IG or Lady Blingy on Facebook or www.bossladyblingblingy here in sunny San Diego at 2031 Commercial Street, San Diego, California. Call us at 619-617-4586.
Over 40 years, Lighthouse Central Florida has provided education, independent life skills, and job training to thousands of Central Floridians who live with blindness or any degree of vision loss. Whether it's picking out clothes in the morning or just moving around your community and serving Orange, Seminole, and Osceola counties, contact Lighthouse Central Florida at 407-898-2483 or visit them online at lighthousecfl.org.
Hi, we're just coming back. We went ahead and we have John and Niki Snyder here. We're talking about Project Pop Drop. Just began to listen to how they began, some of the challenges and some of the surprises. And for those of you who missed it, we have among us a star. Niki Shadrow Snyder is a star celebrity. Could you tell us about some of that little bit about that star status that you hold in the world? Do you have a star on the Walk of Fame?
I hope I have a star on the Mom Walk of Fame. I think that's where my star is right now.
There you go.
I think I'm killing it as a mom. Just the fact that I'm alive and standing after Christmas weekend. But thank you for that. I had a very interesting career before I met John. I definitely was in a whole different universe. I was a celebrity stylist for, I think, at least over a decade, where I dressed celebrities for covers of magazines, editorials, red carpet events, TV appearances, and I produced and styled photo shoots and fashion shows for some of the biggest brands in the world, which was such an honor for me because I was so young at the time, and I was really excited to even have the chance to do it because in my 20s I was so young and I got these big breaks, and I'm so grateful for them. And I was represented by IFG as a style expert and TV personality, so that was really fun because I got to go on a lot of reality shows and talk about fashion, and I got to not hold back this personality, and it was a really fun time of doing that kind of stuff, and I'm grateful for it because I took a lot of the skills that I learned in that business, while I was on a red carpet every night and like oftentimes on TV, like I really learned a lot about marketing and branding, and I also learned a lot about giving back because a lot of times people would ask me if they could put my name on invitations and of charity galas and charity events so I can help generate, guests to come and generate donations and things like that. And I just love doing that so much. I had always wished, secretly that I could do that full time. When I was like all wrapped up into Hollywood and the fashion scene, like my heart was always really in that. And that really made me the happiest to be involved with those types of events. So I knew eventually that would definitely be my calling because it just felt right at the time. But
Wow.
I think the more that and like the more platforms you get in the world and the more, at the time, because I'm old school or maybe just old, like magazine editors were the first influencers. So I consider myself like one of the first influencers because before influencers, there were editors, and that's who put things on the map. And I'm still an editor for a couple different publications, but like I think the more outlets you can have, whether it's a magazine or social media or whatever the platform is, if you can put out good information and deliver value, particularly to help people and help others, I really believe that that's like the best accomplishment that you can accomplish. Besides having a family and raising children, I really think that that's the best thing that you can do while you're alive and on the planet.
No, that's incredible. A part of my team here, I have one of my associates here works with a magazine helping people out in the aerospace industry and planes, and she also does another one for seniors. My friend Joe Boy here is in the production world, and we're in TV, so we're all taking those things and putting them together to get this world out there. And I can see that when you're out on your events on your pop drop, you've got your camera up and okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and hold that closer, bring that in, and that whole those old voices, come back to life there, which is pretty remarkable. So tell me, I'm sorry.
I said Rosalind gets my director face when I put that face on.
Well, you know what it's all about. Now, I want to take us back a few years ago. And John gave us a little view of his childhood, but were your parents in any way, shape, or form involved in anything with charities or giving back or volunteer work as a youth?
Are you talking about to me or John?
Both of you.
Well, for me, it kind of was. I was driving to a Laker game with my dad. Back in the day when they were the Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and we were going to Inglewood to the farm. And I told my dad, I said I saw people living in a box on the street, and I just couldn't believe it. And I said, well, when I get older, I'm gonna help and do something about that. And that was when that was like over 30 years ago. And just kind of to look back now and be like, okay, well, I guess that was setting up for today or something, So that's what kind of got me, was seeing people living in boxes on the way to Laker games.
Right. And what about you, Nikki?
So I have a very similar story to John's, and this is kind of like pretty amazing if you think about in this whole big world that you can have this much alignment. But so my parents were very philanthropic, and they were really great parents and still are. But I actually have a similar story to John. I was born and raised in LA, and my parents would make us also go to the Union Rescue Mission, literally the Union Rescue Mission where John's grandfather stayed. My parents used to make my sisters and I pick toys and bring them there from our toys.
Wow.
Yeah. And at the Rosalind is so awesome that she joined us at our last holiday pop drop at Hope Gardens, but I went there as a child to Hope Gardens.
Oh my gosh.
Mission to give my toys. So it really stuck with me. I won't ever forget that. I grew up in Malibu, and it was a very privileged city to grow up in. And believe it or not, my sisters and I were the only ones that ever even had a job. Of any of my friends, my parents were like, you guys are 15, you're going to get a work permit, And we were like, what's a work permit? But we certainly found out what that was. And I've been working ever since. But the thing is that that's so amazing to me that they instilled those values in us, like at such a young age, like growing up in that kind of a community, but also like that they made us do that and instilled that great information that really stuck with me, that now it's full circle all the way, because John had that experience at the Union Rescue Mission, like talking about it with his own grandfather. I had the experience of going and giving toys as a child, and now we're taking our kids, and our kids are also giving toys and going to the Union Rescue Mission, because our kids have been giving back since they could take their first steps, and we think that's what it should be. for everyone.
If you stop and you take a look back and you imagine for a second, your kids, ever since they've been young, have been out doing this work, giving food and giving other things to homeless and hungry people around the world. Can you even fathom when your kids are growing up where they might be and what they could be doing in the world? I mean, that is just, I just sit there and go, oh my gosh. I mean, this is incredible beyond means, because your small little kids don't want to have someone else lifting it. I want to lift this. I want to carry this. This is not too heavy. Here, let me do it. Let me do it. Let me do it. Let me do it. And if they're this, I mean, if you were to just imagine and put on your imagination cap, one never knows. I have a friend of mine who says you never know if your kid's going to be a bank robber or, a hotel banker. Who knows? But if you could paint an imaginary picture, where do you think this could land your kids in the future?
Well, we want them to be little big influencers where they're influencing others to give back by their actions. So, like, for example, like the triplets, they'll have their Project Pop Drop shirts on like this, and the minute they see me in the shirt or they see her in the shirt, and they know they immediately, we help people, Daddy, we help people, and then they'll put their shirts on, Daddy, we help people.
Yeah.
We bring burritos, we bring underwear, we bring food, and they start going over the whole inventory list, and people will pick up on our conversations, like out at lunch or something, and they'll be like, what do they mean you help people? And we've gotten donations a couple different times from me explaining what the triplets meant when they say we help people when they're wearing their Pop Drop shirts.
Right.
And then I would tell the people what we do. They're like, oh, give us your card. And we ended up getting two different, one of them was a bunch of sleeping bags. There was 50 sleeping bags a guy gave us.
Whoa.
Oh, the triplet donation. And then another one that someone was nice enough to got a pair of socks and literally went in Target and said, hold on a minute, I want to donate to the triplets. And it was hilarious.
Oh my God, that is so amazing, because you talk about the power of kids. There's a young kid that I interviewed whose name is AJ Stuntz, and he kind of had a similar experience to yours about going and seeing the homeless on Christmas. And he said, "Oh, they don't need anything, Mom. They've got it all. It's all covered." And his mom said, "No, that's just Christmas." And so he goes into the inner city of San Francisco, and he's with this minister up in San Francisco, helping in the worst of the worst era. And as they came up to this one area that was fenced off, he said, "Kids, I want you to know the people in that area there, they might have been kind of grumpy, they might have been kind of mean, but they don't get much. And I hope that you learn from this experience of what it's like to be on this side of the fence and to have what you have. And I'm so proud of you of what you've done. It's seeing the combination of what you do, what your kids do, and what you do as a family is just breathtaking in our world that's just filled with so much bad news that's out there. So now, if somebody wanted to support you and they wanted to go ahead and give a helping hand, what might you say that they could do to reach out to join along your forces with you?
Well, they could go to projectpopdrop.org, and they could email us any questions, or if they want to come along with us in either Florida. We've been doing it every month for over 7 years, going to different homeless shelters. In California, we've been doing it every month for over 10 years. And then through our toner clients, we have a few people in different states, like Arizona, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania, and New York, where we did extra pop drops, through our clients, and we sent them our shirts and our boxes. So anyone that wants to do that, we would love to help you get up, and you want to start giving while making a living. You want to do something like that, we could help you. If you want to just simply donate, you could go to projectpopdrop.org. Donate any amount. Anything's appreciated. It goes 100% to the homeless community. Nobody at the foundation takes any salaries or anything, so it's going directly to the people.
Wow, that's beautiful. It kind of reminds me when I get that information from the Heart Association of, do I want to share my message with them and all the envelopes and so forth. And I love the fact that you give them the shirts, you give them here's the kit too, that you can go ahead and make it happen. You can build a forest in your neighborhood. It all starts with a single tree, which is really, really simple, really wonderful. So how is it if people wanted to go ahead and reach out and connect with you? What would you say would be the best thing that they could go ahead and do?
Well, they could definitely do it through the website, projectpopdrop.org, but social media is an amazing tool. So we are always on our social media as well. So they can go to at Project Pop Drop, and then individually we're at mrjohndavidsnyder.com and at nikishadrowsnyder.com if you want to hit us up individually. And we'd be happy and more than open and grateful to talk to everybody. And also we want to say one thing before we go to, which is the thing that you can do if you're watching this and you really want to make an impact in the world and you don't necessarily want to write a check, but you're ready to do something and give back, is that you could start becoming a givefluencer, which is a word that we created and we actually trademarked, and it's our special word that we call people that influence the world by what they can give. So if you want to do anything, we have a new year coming up. If you want to do anything to really change your life personally and professionally, it's becoming a givefluencer and learning how to influence the world by what you can give. And we believe everybody's capable of being a givefluencer, and that society can only truly function when we're all taking care of each other.
Rosalind's a big influencer. You're a total influencer in so many ways.
Yeah.
So many ways.
Well, I thank the two of you so much. It's really, truly been an honor to interview you, John David Snyder and Niki Shadrow Snyder, to have you on the show, sharing what Project Pop Drop is doing in our community. Together, you and I are making a huge, huge difference. And just want to say thank you so much for joining me on Chow Entertainment KXLA Channel 44. It's truly been an honor and pleasure. You can follow me on all my social media. I keep it really simple. Rosalind Kahn, just right there. Follow that on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and I have a page called Coaching and Professional Speaking. Anyone and want to improve their speaking skills. Gratitude beyond words, and thank you so much.
Thanks, Rosalind.
Thank you.
Senior Care Authority is a one-stop solution for helping you locate senior living options.
We understand the care, the costs, and the safety records of hundreds of communities, from assisted living and memory care to independent living and even skilled nursing. We help families cut through the complexity to make courageous, informed decisions under difficult circumstances.
Did you know the #1 way to earn money is speaking? Everyone thinks public speaking is the worst. Some people are so scared they never even get started. Your story deserves to be shared. You can learn from top speakers. You need to join Standout Stars for their free Week of Kindness and Gratitude Summit. Learn how to get out of your comfort zone and grow to the next level. Develop new skills in business. Find out how experts get motivated to increase their workflow. Develop your writing skills. Find your passion and learn to share it with the world. Unlock secrets to improving the production of your podcast and increase lead generation. Learn how to improve your own personal health and wellness. This is a virtual event which runs January 16th through 21st. Sign up on our website at weekofkindness.com free. Be sure to visit weekofkindness.com. Sign up right now.
BizAvJets USA magazine is a new publication to the business aviation industry. And business aviation is a growing and thriving industry. We plan to bring you all the latest trends and news. We also plan to bring you new information about new airframes, systems, and interiors to market. Feel free to visit bizavjetsusa.com.
Aw, Dad, my computer's slow again and I can't play my games.
Call Your Computer Solutions today and we will scan for viruses and clean that computer up remotely and make it fast again. Our phone number is 407-826-0810.
Thanks, Dad. My computer's fast again. Now I can do my homework. Thanks for calling Your Computer Solutions at 407-826-0810.